Thank you, Kermit. It's so nice to be here. I'd like to thank the many hosts that are hosting this. It's so great for the voters to get an opportunity to interact with their choices. So let me introduce myself. I am Judy Baker, and I'm running for the United States Congress, and I want to tell you why. Why did I get in? I got in because last fall I realized that our incumbent did not share our values. Our incumbent had voted against things like veterans' health care, troop bonuses, the minimum wage, children's health care, and then finally, and it was the last straw, predatory mortgage lenders reform. And I said to myself, things have to change. My mother always said to me that if you want change, if you don't like what's happening, you got to stand up and change it yourself, or quit complaining. Well, I wasn't about to quit complaining. So I instead went to the front lines. Just like I've been on the front lines in the last 4 years down at the state capitol, I've been on the front lines of healthcare, fighting for healthcare for individuals. I've been on the front lines fighting for education and access to education. I've been on the front lines fighting for the budget priorities that we need to be doing. You know, I'm not a career politician. I don't have a long resume of politics, but I do have 25 years of experience in the private healthcare sector, where I have made change, I've met budgets, and I have met payroll. I know how to make real live solutions happen. I want to take that expertise to Washington. And I plan on working for us to be a new voice for change to end the war in Iraq and bring our troops home and take care of them like they deserve. A new voice for change to bring down gas prices and to crack down on predatory speculators and to bring health care to all. Thank you so much. That's what I'll do when I go to Washington.
Mr. Bowles.
I also want to say thank you for everyone sponsoring this event tonight. It's a great opportunity for me to come down to Columbia and just let people know who Ninth Congressional is. And just to start with, a lot of people, they see my billboards or my ads in the paper and they see my name and they're like, oh, really massive name.
Louder!
A little louder, okay. Can you hear me better now?
Got to get close to the mic.
Okay. Okay, how's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear it better now too. So very good, everybody. Glad to be here tonight, and I get a lot of questions is how do you pronounce Linden Bodie? And they see the signs and billboards, things like that as I'm going out campaigning in 25 counties. And I always remind people, just remember, for Linden, just remember President Lyndon Johnson. I was named after him. He was vice president at that time, back in 1963. But I was named after Lyndon Johnson, a good Democrat name. And then Bodie, just add that E on it to him. I know we get Bodie by stuff like that. I'll always answer, but it's Bodie. I'm glad to be here running for Congress. We started looking at this race about a year ago. I guess it's a year ago in May when Kenny Holzhoff, our current congressman, was narrowed down to the final three for president of the University of Missouri. At that time, the red flags went up. This guy is looking to do something different, and it's a dream of mine has always been to run for Congress, and we're glad to be here running today. A little bit of background, I grew up on a farm in Marion County, northeast Missouri, in northern part of the district. Grew up on that farm, went to college there in northeast Missouri at Hamlin Range College and also Stockton College. After college, me and my dad, we sat down and talked. Did we want to continue farming or what should we do? We decided at that time to go ahead and rent the ground out. It was the mid-'80s, farming economy. It was quite a challenge at that time. And then after that, went on and started Bodie Courier Service and became a member of the Teamsters. And then 14 years ago, got elected county commissioner. And just in closing here, I want to say I'm married. I have 2 young daughters, a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old. And they're not here tonight, but I do want to say hi to the girls in my life. And they're out there watching. We're going on and win here in August 5th.
Mr. Bodie, thank you. Just so you know, the stop sign is upside down. Mr. Goff, you're up on stage.
Thank you, Kermit. My name is Steve Goff. Washington is on the wrong track. It is time for us to put it back on course. I grew up on a small farm north of Moberly. Went to one of the last one-room schools in the state. I worked my way to college at Truman State and at the University of Missouri-Columbia. And in fact, my wife and I and our daughter Skylar still live on a farm in Richmond. I believe and learned very early on about the values of this district. That if you want to succeed, work hard. That you shoot straight at people. And that when you're trying to get something done, you try to work together. But when something's wrong, you stand up for what's right. And I believe in something else. Some good old Missouri common sense. And we need to bring that to Washington, D.C. I want to tell you that it was a great honor to be elected to the Missouri House in 1992, and 3 years later, have my colleagues choose for me to be the Speaker of the House. I came in at a difficult time. The former Speaker was involved in an ethics scandal, and we had a slim majority of Democrats in the House. Yet despite that, we were able to pass some of the most successful legislation in years. I worked hard to try to bring a spirit of bipartisanship to the House, to try to ensure that we got things done for average Missourians. And we did that. I sponsored legislation that cut the sales tax on food. Ken Jacob can sure tell you about that story. We worked hard to try to make a difference on things for people like, I worked on the Do Not Call List, which we wrote and I sponsored. Eliminated, or worked on and created the sex offender registry in the state, and many other things that hopefully we'll talk about later. On the Public Service Commission, I stood up to special interests and tried to make a difference so that consumers were heard over the loud voices and money of the special interests that were there. I want to work for you and restore our values to the leadership of this nation. With your help, I'll be able to do that and we'll change the course of America. Thank you very much.
I'm Ken Jacob, and I've been fighting for progressive causes for more than 25 years. And although I've had a lot of successes, the Bright Flight Scholarship Bill, the Missouri College Guarantee, during all my 22 years in the legislature, I look back at those years and see that there has been a real opportunity squandered. And looking back, the reason is a lack of leadership. And the one time that I was elected leader was when the right-wing conservative Republicans took over the legislature. And it was a very, very difficult time. And it took a very, very strong will to stand up to stop the Medicaid cuts and all the other bad public policies that they were trying to promote. As I look at the problems facing the United States of America, I think some very difficult decisions have to be made. We have to balance the budget and at the same time try to provide education, health care, and find a new source of energy to embark upon for the future. I think I've been in a political race every year since 1980, and I guess I am a career Democrat. And I entered this race not only because I wanted to serve in Congress. Steve and I talked about this race way back in 1998, but and nothing against my fellow colleagues, but I know them very, very well, as they know me very, very well. And knowing them like I do, I feel that I am a stronger person to make these tough decisions than they are. And I think when I stood up for 5 days and 15 hours, that demonstrated my strong will. And I think that's what's needed in Congress right now. Thank you.